Hey, what's up guys? Tito here. It's kind of late. I'm getting a little bit under the weather. It's like 1:09 a.m. But anyways, I want to talk a little bit about the LG X Power 2. Yes, people have been talking about it, and now it's my turn to give my thoughts about it. So I am going to tell you guys some of the specs that's rumored for it, and then I'm going to kind of give you guys something that I wish it had, I guess you could say. So let's go off with the specs of what they're saying. So we're looking at a 5.5-inch display instead of 5.3. Resolution's at 720 by 1280, 267 pixels per inch, and it's an IPS LCD display, 13 megapixel rear-facing camera, and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera with extra additional features to the camera. Maintaining the octa-core processor at 1.5 gigahertz and a 64-bit chip. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage, and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. So that's kind of like what's being tossed around from different websites. And of course, well, you guys may have noticed when I was talking about the specs, the device is right here. So you guys can pretty much see what it looks like. Now, while it has kind of stepped up a little bit as far as like screen size, went from 5.3 to 5.5, kind of wish that the display kind of also got beefed up a little bit too. The battery being at a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, so that's kind of nice. Can't really complain there. I mean, 4100 would have been fine anyways. The original X Power does very well in battery life, and I'm still using it as my daily driver on Boost Mobile, so that tells you something about the device. Some things I kind of wish it did have was, I guess you can say, water resistance. Would be very nice to have water resistance. Being able to take it with you in the summer to the pool, take pictures, not have to worry about it getting splashed. Kind of ironic how they were showing like this little ad for the X Power and how these people were this girl was taking a picture with her X Power and all these people on the boat. I guess their battery had already died being on the boat. So she was able to capture the moment of a whale jumping out of the water and, you know, meteors hitting our atmosphere and bursting into like a fireworks show. And she was able to do it because she had the X Power 2. She had the battery life to withstand that whole entire time. So that was like absolutely crazy. They kind of went that route with it. But, you know, I would have thought water resistance. A lot of devices are starting to become water resistant. It's starting to become something normal. Don't mind my turtle splashing around behind us. But yeah, I was thinking like water resistance would have been so great to have. But besides water resistance also, why not put a fingerprint reader on there? I know there's people that are still wanting to have a fingerprint reader on a pretty well-off budget device. And I advocate for that. It's not a necessity, but it's nice to have. And I would have felt that they would have did that. I mean, I believe the Stylo 3 is going to have a fingerprint reader. Why not the X Power 2? Now, the big question, is it coming to Boost Mobile? We don't know. That is something that's not really been said or I haven't found out yet. I can tell you right now that the specs obviously is going to be for like an unlocked version. So that would be GSM. Nothing mentioned of CDMA. The same as the J7 2017. Nothing mentioned about it going to Boost Mobile. Only mentioning that it's going to AT&T. And yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if Boost Mobile and Sprint gets the X Power 2 under its belt. I wish it would. It would be a nice thing to grab. Would it be called the Vault 4? Possibly. I mean, the original X Power was called the Vault 3. Yeah, the Vault 3. So if Boost was to get it, they'd most likely market it as the Vault 4. But yeah, those are just some things I thought would have been nice to have. Water resistance, fingerprint reader. Just about everything on there seems what the normalcies for budget device specs would be, like 16 gigs of onboard storage, 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is good because I would hate for it to go back to 8 gigs and 8 gigs of internal storage, 1 gig of RAM. That would be like totally suck if it went back that way, especially how big apps are nowadays. But you know, yeah, there are a lot of budget devices that's coming out with the fingerprint reader thing, so I figured, you know, LG could have just been nice and thrown that in there. And the water resistance is just really what I think. So let me know what you guys think about it. I know it's pretty late for this video, but what do you guys think? What would you guys would have wanted to see on the X Power 2? Leave that in the comment section of this video. Smash that like button to let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Links on the display, click them, subscribe, hit that bell option to know when I drop another video. Yeah, I'm tired. Good night. Mahalo and aloha.